An open letter to Ron Daniels, president of Johns Hopkins University, and to Lee Coyle, senior director of planning and architecture at Johns Hopkins University. Dear President Daniels and Mr. Coyle, I live on Wyman Park Drive in Baltimore, only 1 block west from Homewood campus and 1 block from the site of your proposed Data Science and Artificial Intelligence Center. I don't want to rehash the arguments against building a 476,000 square foot complex, one that is larger than the exhibition space of the Baltimore Convention Center, in an environmentally sensitive area that abuts Wyman Park and a stretch of the Stony Run, a critical waterway to the Chesapeake Bay that Baltimore City residents have paid millions to clean up. Johns Hopkins University is permitted to develop its own property, and I am not writing to oppose JHU's legal right to build on land that JHU owns, as long as your university and your contractors, Whiting Turner and Mahogany, obey city, state, and federal environmental laws intended to protect the environment and federally protected species in Wyman Park. Note that your university has not yet published the necessary environmental studies or provided plans on ways you intend to follow environmental laws, and yet JHU plans to break ground sometime this summer. Have those studies even been done? However, I am writing because Lee Coyle stated at the last public meeting on March 25, 2025, that the construction entrance to the DSAI site will be on the 3100 block of Remington Avenue. The entrance will be directly across the street and less than 70 feet from the front doors of most houses on the 3100 block of Remington Avenue. A construction entrance on Remington Avenue means that heavily laden trucks with construction materials, dirt, and debris will routinely block the street as they unload, enter, or exit the construction site. Remington Avenue is a bus route. It is the fire and ambulance route into Remington from the closest fire station in Hamden. It is a primary police emergency route, and it is a snow emergency route. When asked if the construction entrance could be moved to the east side of the lot, to Wyman Park Drive between the new Agora Center and the old Wyman Park Medical Center, the representative from Whiting Turner who attended the March 25th meeting said it could be moved there, but doing so would slow down construction by forcing the project to be phased differently than currently planned. Although the representative from Whiting Turner and Mr. Coyle acknowledged a construction entrance could be placed elsewhere, it was made clear that moving the entrance from Remington Avenue to someplace else will not be considered an option. In other words, JHU will gladly destroy mature trees on Remington Avenue on city property that are carbon beneficial and part of the city's treasured tree canopy. Build a construction entrance directly across the street, less than 70 feet from homes, eliminate on-street residential parking on one side of Remington Avenue, and force the closure of a bus stop because doing so is convenient to Johns Hopkins University. Never mind how inconvenient this will be to residents, taxpayers, and voters who live in my neighborhood. Never mind how devastating cutting down the trees will be to the wildlife that depends on them. Never mind how much hotter the neighborhood will become because of the loss of so much shade. Never mind that JHU's construction entrance will create a traffic hazard for MTA buses, fire trucks, ambulances, and snowplows. JHU will do this because it is convenient for JHU. Let me ask you, President Daniels and Mr. Coyle, would you want a construction site for a multi-year project directly across the street from your house? A construction entrance that will create traffic hazards for emergency vehicles, buses, and snowplows, that will eliminate your residential parking on that side of the road, and that will cause the destruction of a tree canopy on city property that heretofore has helped to shade your home? If your answers to these questions are no, then why are you inflicting this outrageous injustice on me and my neighbors? Sincerely, Ed Schneider.